354, 353, 352... Oh, hello! I was just suppressing a scream by counting down backwards from 1,000. Welcome to Stir Crazy, the cooking show for shut-ins.
Like you.
I'm beloved local drag queen Elsa, and darlings, if I started screaming now, I might never stop. It's 2021, a brand new year that has gotten off to an absolutely horrifying start, darlings. And people are surprised. This calamitous situation, this mess of a malevolent maelstrom has been approaching on the horizon slowly for quite a long time. Oh, this isn't America. Darlings, this is exactly America. And many Americans have been trying to draw your attention to that fact for literally centuries. Like the climate crisis, it's going to kill us all, but we're just sitting here ignoring it. That just makes it so it's worse later. 898, 897. January is a difficult month, even in the best of years, which 2021 is not shaping up to be. January is more of a standing in the kitchen in your bathrobe, eating raw cookie dough out of the fridge kind of month. So with that in mind, I'm going to go change into something just a little more comfortable, and then I'm going to share with you a recipe for a delicious and even somewhat nutritious cookie dough snack. And darling, it's vegan. There, that's better. Now, a drawback to eating most cookie doughs is that typically they contain raw egg and uncooked wheat flour, both of which can make you sick, or at the very least give you an upset tummy, darlings. This recipe contains neither. It's vegan and gluten-free for those of you who care about that sort of thing. And if you're the type of person with that extra drive, you can even make this cookie dough into actual cookies if you have, the energy to put it in the oven. I don't. The ingredients in this recipe are actually kind of good for you, darlings. Good-ish. It is still a dessert. If you're that concerned about it, why don't you just have some celery sticks or something? I'm doing my best here. I've been cooped up for months in this kitchen. If these walls could talk, they would bore you to tears, darling. 522, 521, 520. Here's what you need. Coconut oil that you'll melt and let cool. Maple syrup. Nut butter, darlings. Any nut butter you like will do. I'm using an almond cashew nut butter. Sea salt. Coconut flour. I like coconut flour, but you can also use almond flour, or oat flour would probably work. You may need a little bit less. Mini chocolate chips, darling. These ones are vegan, of course. Baking soda. Now, baking soda is optional, but I find a little bit in the cookie dough really gives it that cookie dough flavor. And of course, you do need the baking soda if you're actually going to go the extra mile and bake these cookies, darling. Vanilla extract. And the secret ingredient, believe me, you're going to love this, a can of garbanzo beans or chickpeas. Call them what you want. I don't judge things like that. My friend, the gorgeous San Francisco drag sensation Mary Weiss, once told me a very funny joke about garbanzo beans. But it's slightly off color, so I'm not going to tell it here. Ask Mary Weiss to tell you the next time you see her. Now, darlings, this is the most painstaking part of this recipe. You're going to want to rinse your can of garbanzo beans or chickpeas, and then you're going to want to remove their little jackets, their little membranes or skin. You just take the garbanzo bean and give it a gentle pinch, and the membrane or jacket just pops right off. And you'll want to do that for all of the garbanzo beans in the can, darling. Honestly, it's not like I have anything better to do. The only reason I don't have nails on is that I knew I'd be doing this today. Performed at some of the most impressive theaters in San Francisco, and here I am now Peeling garbanzo beans on camera for you, darlings. This might be a good time to remind you that drag queens love tips. You can tip me at my Venmo. The handle is at Charles and Elsa. I'm Elsa. Charles is the other being that inhabits this body. Et voila! Here we have our can of skinned garbanzo beans. I sense we may have some skeptics out there, some people who doubt that garbanzo beans can be made into a dessert. Trust me, darling, recipes like this are all over the vegan internet. Garbanzo beans make a great basis for sweet baked desserts. The first step is to put your garbanzo beans in the food processor and process them down quite fine. Next, you're simply going to add all the other ingredients except the coconut flour and optional baking soda to the food processor and then blend that nicely. Then you're going to add your dry ingredients, your coconut flour and your optional baking soda to the food processor and give that a good process as well. Once everything is processed, doesn't that look delicious? Once everything is processed, you can finally stir in your chocolate chips. Darlings, it's cookie dough. Perfectly safe to eat and delicious. It keeps in the fridge for a few days, and I honestly think it tastes even better after it's chilled for a couple hours. I truly love this dessert. It's good with ice cream, or you can use it like a dip and dip graham crackers in it. I don't know, you do you. Or just shovel it into your mouth hole while standing alone in your kitchen, like I'm doing right now. Late at night, see what time it is? My friend Intensive Claire likes to see the clock in my little cooking segments. As mentioned, you can make cookies out of this. Simply roll the dough into small balls, about tablespoon-sized balls. Put them on a parchment-covered cookie sheet, parchment paper-covered cookie sheet, and flatten them a little bit because they won't actually spread while cooking. And then cook them in a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes or until the edges are turning golden brown. Thank you so much for joining me for this edition of Stir Crazy, the cooking show for shut-ins like you. Once again, I am beloved local drag queen Elsa Touche. Please follow me on Instagram if you'd like to keep abreast and apprised of my doings and goings and comings. My Instagram handle is at Charles and Elsa. And if you want to tip a bitch, you can do that too. My Venmo handle is also at Charles and Elsa. And I have merch, darlings. Head on over to my website, sanfranciscodragqueen.com, to get my face on your body. Well, on clothes on your body. You know what I'm talking about. All right, darlings, see you next time at Stir Crazy. 429, 428, 427, 426. January is a vanilla extra. Darlings. I have a hair in my mouth.